Everyone, welcome back. As part of our today's video, we will be discussing about RAP troubleshooting techniques. So, we will be having many kinds of errors when we are working with the RAP application. So, since this is something new, we won't be familiar with all kind of errors, and sometimes we won't be getting the proper errors also, and we don't know where to check. So that for particular purpose we will be making an video how to troubleshoot the rap issues, and what are the things we have to check when we are getting an error, and which errors, if we are getting some front end errors where we have to check, from back end errors where we have to check, and what are the places we have to debug if we are getting some kind of errors. All these perspectives we will be seeing, and I will be giving you some real time examples, like where someone will get an error but we won't be able to understand, like that is something, the real time errors which we will be facing. So let us start the video. So for this particular purpose, I have created one RAP application. So this is our CDS view, and I have just fetched the data from the sales document item. And we have the projection view for this one also. I have not created any behavior definition and all. I have just created the interface view and then the projection view. So this is our interface view, and this is our projection view, and I don't have any metadata extension and all. This is my service binding. Let us preview this one. It will be just an empty application, even we don't get any fields at all, since we have not maintained any fields in the metadata. We have to go to the settings and we have to select the fields. If we click on go, basically we should get the data. That's how I have designed. So this is the application which I have built for showing you something, some error in the real time application. But before that, I wanted to discuss some of the few scenarios. So when we are getting any error, we have to make sure, like, all the things whatever we have developed, those are in active state. Sometimes because of behavior definition and behavior implementation class, we will be forget the activation of behavior definition. We will be just creating the class and we will be working on the methods inside, and we will forget that some cases it will be giving the issue. So how can you check that? Means we have something called as activate inactive abap development objects. If I click on this one, I'm getting all the inactive objects. This is something which I have created, but I don't want to activate it. That's okay. But if you click on this one, you will be getting the objects. If anything is not active, you will be getting those. Let us see in this case. I will just give some space and I'm saving it, and I'm not activating it. If I click on this one, see, now we are getting this one. So we can activate this. So if we forget something, we can just go here where we can activate the multiple objects, and we will be getting the all inactive object list. So we will be out of the errors if it is something due to activation issue. First thing, you check whether you have all the objects activated or not. And this one, we will be, yeah, we have something, three, two scenarios. I will be discussing this. Like, there are some cases, if we are opening the app from preview, that means the preview means from your service binding, we have the option called preview. And if you just observe, I have opened this app from the preview and it is working fine. Like, I have the app coming up and I'm able to see the fields actually. But in some cases you will be able to see the date, see the app from the preview, but from the app, like from the app, when I say, it is the fairy tale which is created, not from the preview. Basically, for the end users or for someone out of SAP, we will be giving the fairy tale, not the preview. Basically, they won't have the access to go to the service binding and preview, and they won't understand it. We will be giving the final end to end application, which is the fairy tale. So from your preview it is working, and from tile it is giving you service, like it is not able to open or something, it is giving error. Then the issue is not from the backend, that is from the fairy side. You can confirm that, you can say that I have my service opening correctly from the preview and I am able to see the data and it's working fine without any issues, but from the app itself only it is causing the issues. So it is not just an ABAP backend issue. And here one thing we have to understand is, when it comes to navigation and all, we can't see that it is purely fairy issue, because there are artifacts like which will be active only when coming to the navigation. Basically it won't to be available from the preview actually. We have already seen that. So these are the things which will be available from the front end application only, from the fairy tale. So in that particular cases, when we are specifically talking about the navigation and the report header kind of things, we can't say that is purely a Fury issue. We have to check from the backend logic also. If it is something coming as I have the navigation hyperlink coming, then yes, our logic is working fine. But the navigation is not happening, then it will be the front end issue. So these type of things we have to separate, where it is issue from the front end side and where it is from the back end side. When I say back end, it is the RAP developer, and when I say front end, it is the fairy developer who will be configuring all these things into a tile, or creating some drop downs or some kind of some front end related works. So these things we have to make sure, and then we can say that this is not issue from the back end. At least we can segregate, okay, this is working fine, and we will be able to solve easily if we know that this kind of issue is from back end or front end. If we don't know anything, we have to dig through each of the thing, then it will be like time taking. Okay, so now, coming to the next scenario, we have the data coming in the CDS view. So, if I execute this CDS view, whatever we have created, let me open with the data preview. We have the data coming up, at least for the material and material group. Okay, we don't, okay, we have only one record. That's fine. At least I am getting the data here. But the first thing is, whenever you are not getting the data from the front end, we have to check whether the data is coming in the applications or not. This is my interface view, so I have checked my interface view. Now I have to check my projection view also, because this is the view which will be exposing. So I have to check whether the data is coming here or not also. So here also I have the data. So now the data is coming fine, but I am unable to preview the application. I am getting the error. So one of the specific error I can say is unable to preview the app. Something like kind of this error you will be getting. You will be getting the data everywhere, like in your interface view and your projection view, but I'm saying this one from the preview only, that means from the service binding only, not specifically through the tile. So this kind of error we will be getting, unable to preview the application or app, try again something, close the app, something kind of error we will be getting. This is some error, but this is like we don't know where the issue is, because from the backend we are getting all the data, and to see somewhere we don't know like where we have to see, and even dump also you won't be getting. That is just an error when we are going with the preview. That's even without loading the artifacts like the screen, you will be getting this kind of error. Then what will be the issue is, that is issue with the annotations. So if we have annotations and if we are misusing the annotations, it won't give you error when you are previewing the data from your CDS views, but it will stop you from previewing the application. So how we can check means, so wherever you have the annotations used, comment out that fields. So if you have 3 to 4 quantity, if you have one quantity or the one field which have the annotation, like whether it is a quantity or amount field, where you are binding the quantity with quantity unit or amount with the amount unit, only one field, that will be fine. You will be just commenting out that, and we will be checking if the preview is happening correctly or not. If you have multiple fields, try checking commenting one by one. Or if you have one field that is suspicious for you, you can just comment out that and see whether the preview is working. That way you can figure out like which field it is giving the issue. So this is one of the issue, like real time issue, where we will be facing if you are misusing the annotations. So for this particular error we have to mainly check with the annotations. This is not with the logic or with the CDS use structure, how it is built. This is purely annotation related issue. So once we got the real suspect, then we have to check why it is giving the issue. Maybe the binding, when I say binding, like how we are binding the quantity with quantity unit. Are we using the right UOM for that? Or somewhere we are using some UOM and finally we are using some different UOM, that kind of things, are something we are casting with that field. Those things we have to check, and we have to change that particular field logic accordingly. So then we will be figuring out this issue particularly. And next, coming to the fourth point, when it comes to create, update or delete operations. So whenever, so you have the application previewing correctly, and when you click on create you are getting the error, means then it is definitely error with the create operation. In that case, you have to check the create methods. When I say create method, it will be applicable in the unmanaged scenario, because we will be developing the code for the create operation and all. In managed scenario, anyway we don't have the flexible we don't have the option like to write the code. The framework will only take care. But since you are getting the, even if you are getting the error in the create in manager scenario also, then there is some issue with the behavior definition creation or some mapping kind of issues you have done. So you have, maybe you can delete the behavior definition or create it again, or carefully watch the behavior definition where it is missing, where you have done something wrong. And the same goes for update and delete operations as well. If the data is not updating, maybe you are not doing the correct mapping in your managed scenario. When it comes to unmanaged, you have to check the update. So here to debug, suppose this is our class, we don't have any code for update and all, but we have something for it is just, if you click on this line, we have something blue line coming. If you just put a breakpoint here, you can see this breakpoint is set now. You have to put the breakpoint in the corresponding methods, and you can watch that. So whenever you preview the application and click on that corresponding action, the debugger will be triggered. And when working with the actions, so we have some actions where enter number we have defined in our another application. So whenever the actions are not working properly, we can just put a breakpoint in the actions code. Actually in that particular case we have put the breakpoint here, and read also we have checked like how it is working. So whenever we are facing issue with create, we have to put the breakpoint in create method. When update, the corresponding update. Delete, when corresponding delete. And something related to action, we have to put the breakpoint in the action code, and we will be getting the issue wherever it is happening. And we have something called as feed reader. So in our ABAP we have something T code for seeing the dump, which is HT20. But here we have a BAP feed reader where we can see the dumps. So how you to see the dumps in Eclipse is, you have to go to this window, show view. If you find it here, that is fine. Click on other. We have to search for this feed reader, and if you click on this, we will be getting all the runtime errors here. So I'm getting, you will be getting all the things here. And here we have gateway errors also, so we can make use of this as well. So here we will be getting all the runtime errors getting captured here. Okay, now we have something determination. If we are the ones who are developing like actions, determinations, or the create or anything methods, definitely we will be knowing the root cause basically. Because if we say that okay, this data is not updating correctly, we know like from the backend which type of code we have written, whether we are updating the data in the update method or we are doing some determinations to update this. So this kind of things we can easily get if you are familiar with these actions, determinations, and update methods. So where if you know the concept behind them, then you can easily find out where the issue is happening from. And we have some called as failed, reported, and result we have. So in failed or reported, these uh, things, whenever it comes to failure, the fail structure will be filled, and it is in the EML operations. Whenever you are writing with modify, create, or the update type of scenarios. You have the failed or reported structures which will be getting filled, and we have mapped also. Mapped will be filled in case of success, so we have already seen these ones, and these things will be filled. So if the data is not coming, something like whenever create is you are doing, you have not the create operation but it is not giving the, then in that case your failed will be getting filled. You have to check the modify that EML operation syntax once again, and you have to check the values whatever you are passing, whether we have something really we have. When you are working with the update, you have the data, whatever you are trying to update is correct or not, like that particular key fields are already there or not. When working with create, you have to check like whether I'm filling the on and off fields also. Like if you just click mention create, sometimes it won't work. You have to fill the on and off fields. Like I have to make sure these fields should be there on update on create. And if you have something like during modify or save, that is definitely due to validation, so you will be getting the message. So when I say you are getting some appropriate message rather than the generic standard message, then you can go to the code and you can search for the message msg, and you will be getting the places wherever you have the messages written, and you can go to that message class and see what is the, you can search for that message, uh, whatever you are getting, and you will be finding out. And then you can put the breakpoint and you can see what is the issue it is giving the error. This way you can get it. And I have just skipped this one, cid one. We will be discussing at the end this one. And we have something error log for the front end errors, where we can see the errors which is gateway log. So from the front end, this is something where we are familiar. If you know the OData, we will be seeing the things like issues or the uh, runtime errors in the OData. If you are getting some errors instead of the 200 request, you will be going into this tree code specific, and we will be seeing the errors. The same thing goes here as well. Now coming to the CID, so here we have something as CID. If you observe here, let me go to that place. Autofill CID. If I just remove this one, I'm just removing this one and I'm activating it. We don't get any error here, but when you run the application, you will be getting the dump. So let me put the breakpoint here and let us preview our application. This is okay. This is my survey definition. Sorry. This is my, yeah, I believe this is the one. Here we will be knowing about the importance of CID. I have just clicked on enter and clicking on this action, and I'm giving some number as usual. Now going here into the debug. So if you observe, I have just put the breakpoint here, and when I execute, the corresponding method is getting triggered. That is as simple. And one more thing, this is the class, right? So you can just copy the class. If you are not familiar with Eclipse ADT debugging, you are not comfortable with this particular type of debugging, you can copy this class name and open it in GUI with C24, and you can put the breakpoint, external breakpoint there, and you can see the like do the debugging there if you are not comfortable with this in ADT. Okay, we are going into keys. Sorry, read. We have the result. We have already these in things already. I don't want to go again and again. I know, I think it won't be initial. Yes, it won't be initial. Maybe I will just mm, delete this entry. I, I am also not sure how we can delete the entries here. Let me try it out. Okay, we have something remove. Oh, okay, it is something removing from here, not deleting the entry. Okay, no, no. Insert row we have, but we don't see the delete actually. If I click on this one, we have again insert row, select all. No. Mm, I don't know how I can delete the entries here actually. We only have insert. Why do we don't have this delete option? Maybe let us see something. Ah, okay. Here I am finding it. Delete rows and delete selected rows. Okay, I'm deleting this one. Now it is empty. So we are finding it here. We are unable to get that. If you click on these three dots and delete selected rows and delete rows, we have. I'm just closing this one. Now I know it will cause the dump. I'm executing it. See, it got terminated. Behavior contract violation. What is the error we will be getting? We will see. So it has triggered an error, affected behavior definition. It has clearly defined the behavior definition name and operation value created. Since we are doing with the create operation, it has mentioned that it is create, and the reason it is giving that the above program must be corrected. Source code extract, it is giving the exact place. We can see like this statement has some issue. Information error analysis. Okay, here if you observe here, the reason for the runtime error, if you go up here, we have the header information what happened. Like however we have something in our SAP GUI, those kind of things we have. So I'm going into error analysis. The reason for the runtime error is connection with contract violations can occur for the following reasons. The contract violation always causes an error to occur. It is required by the strict specification in the current BO. It is required by the strict specification in the BO that is called restricted above is set to error. The violation is restricted to above. By seeing all these things, basically we are not getting anything. We don't know, like it is saying that that is contract violation anywhere, and we have to use something, but it is not telling what we are missing. When we come to this additional information about the various contract violations, it is giving that missing CID. Every EML operation that has fields percentage CID instance generating operations should be supplied with a unique value in this field. Empty update. Every EML update operation should supply at least one non-key field. For at least one flag should therefore be set for a non-key field. Duplicate update, duplicate delete, duplicate execute. Save action outside a only during the corresponding. Okay, we have lot of things here, but in the first statement we are getting this missing CID. So whatever is mentioned here, we have to check it. Missing ID we have. If that is the case, we can just modify the code and we have to check. and we have something called as adjust numbers. These things also it has mentioned. So here at least we have an advantage, like for seeing where the dump is happening, where the runtime error is happening. So we can go to that place and we can see like, okay, this is the statement which is giving the error. So we can work on that statement where why the issue is coming instead of going through all the code. So this is one kind of scenario. Now whenever we have working with create and update, you have to make sure not with update, especially for the create, the cid will be mandatory. We can use autofill cid, so the system will automatically generate the cid value. There is another way where you can fill the cid manually. We have already seen that how we can fill the cid manually in our wrap application series, like rap playlist. You can go there and watch that, so you can be able to understand how we can fill the cid manually if you don't want to use this autofill cid option. So almost all the things we have covered. So cid we have covered, and this error log we have covered, and validations. This error log we have already seen. We already know how we can make use in the OData. So these are some artifacts where we have to check whenever we are getting the error. So apart from all of these things, I will be showing you some another kind of scenario. So we have the application. This is my application, whatever we have built. Now we have already seen that we have the data, but before that let me go here. Okay, this is my thing. So this is the preview of our application, and if I'm clicking on go, I'm not getting any data, but we have already seen we are getting the data. I can show you again as well. So this is our interface view, and coming to our projection view, let me, where is this? See, okay, this is my behavior definition, sorry. This is the one. Open with data preview. So here also we are getting the data. We are getting the data in our CDS views, but again, it is not forcing you like to show the app. Like it is not displaying any error. It is displaying the app, but data it is not retrieving. It is some special kind of scenario where you have the data, but it is not displaying, but it is not throwing any kind of error also. So we can check in feed reader if we have something. Show view other feed reader. This is my system. We don't have anything. This is something which we got for the cid purpose, and we don't have anything. So we don't have any errors coming up here, and it is not showing any error also, not capturing in the error log or not displaying the error, but we are not getting the data. And we can check the metadata as well. This is the metadata. You have to just remove the client and you have to put dollar metadata at the end, and it is showing fine. You have your projection view names and the cds view names and the field names we have, and it is showing properly without any issues. So then where is the issue? How we can check that? You have to go here, and you have two options basically. You can click on use the shortcut which is F12. I'm clicking on F12 on the keyboard, and click on this open dev tools, and it has opened something like this. And there is some other option where you can do right click and inspect. You can both are the same things. Actually, you can use any of the things. Now we are in the elements tab, and it is something giving the URL kind of thing, and we are not seeing anything here like apart from the URL kind of things. It is showing some table body, draggable, some kind of properties it is showing basically. We have something called as layout, computer styles we have, but we are unable to see anything from here. Now let's go to console tab. Here I'm just dragging into the end so that I'm getting the latest things here at the end. Now we have something called as with the error marks, and you can see fail to get contents with the start index 0 and length 30, duplicate key predicate. That means we have the duplicate keys. If you just give this error to Google, and you can understand like what is the error means, or else we can understand it because duplicate key we can easily understand. So this is the giving this error, and three times it is giving the same errors. So if we go to the CDS view and observe the data, we have some duplicate keys. This is my material is the key field I have mentioned, and the same value is there for the material. So even though you have the data from the backend CDS, it is giving the error in the front end because we have the duplicates keys and it is unable to map. But it is not throwing error in our feed reader, or else it is not giving error. It is just restricting the data preview. It is not showing anything. This kind of scenarios also may happen, and you have to be very particular with the key fields. This one I have purposely made this so that you can understand and how you can see the errors, from where you can see the errors in complex RAP applications where you are working with a more type of quantity fields. There may be cases where you are working with group by and all. You are grouping by all the fields. Since you have quantity unit field also, you have to group by that quantity unit field also. In that case, even if you have the data like key fields data, it will be different. But whenever you are grouping by like the same, whenever you are using the group by, basically the date whatever the fields you are grouping by, that will be coming as one row. If you have any quantity things, it will be summing up. But whenever you are grouping by that unit field, if you have different uoms, then it will create two different rows at that time. Even with if you have the same you have the two like two rows have the same key fields, you will be having the two rows because you are grouping by that UOM field also, and that UOM has two different particular quantity units. That kind of scenarios will give you this kind of issues basically. So you have to make sure whenever you are using group by in your RAP applications, whether by amount specific unit or the quantity unit, you have to make sure very particular that you don't have the same key fields with the different uom units, either it be amount specific currency units or the quantity units. So in that particular scenarios, it will give you this kind of errors. Or else if you have something like a different kind of errors where it is not showing in your ADT feed reader and it is not displaying error, you can go there and click on inspect or click on the shortcut F12, and you will be going there and you can go to this elements tab. You will be landed up in your elements tab, then you can go to the console and you can see what is the issue it is happening. And here we have something dollar batch also. in the network tab, and this is also useful whenever you have the data coming up. You can give the dollar batch in the filter and you will be getting the 200 response here. But since I am talking about troubleshooting, I am not showing here, because if you just get the data in preview, obviously you will get the 200 response here as well. So these are some of the troubleshooting techniques we can make sure, like instead of going through each and every code, by digging through all the code, we can segregate like for which kind of error where we have to go, and we can make sure we are saving our time whenever we are working with the errors in the wrap application specifically. So I hope this video is useful to you. If you want any topic in detail, please do comment down in the comment section, and please do like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more useful content. See you in the next video.